What's up, wrestling fans? It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. I don't know. It means that Outta Nowhere's back. This is episode 2 of the reviving of Outta Nowhere, although it's really episode 260, which is pretty cool. 260 episodes of Outta Nowhere. And man, I didn't know that Mercedes Moné was going to just rip it off and have a Shawn Michaels female version sexy boy outfit on. I like that. 3 wardrobe looks tonight, I think, from her. And yeah, everybody in the chat, if you guys can do us a favor right now for me, please click that like button, because we got to have that like button clicked, baby. It's going to be jammed way up there. Tonight, we are live for, we'll be live until, at least until 11:30. We may go to midnight. We may go to 11:30, midnight, whatever we feel like. But the Outta Nowhere shows will be probably somewhere in between 1 and 2 hours, somewhere in there, depending on how good we feel and how much we can take. But here's the other thing. If you didn't see it, the other day, me and Jake recorded a 40-minute episode of Jake and Joe Podcast, which is back. So if you didn't hear that on Patreon, go give that a listen. All the patrons that heard it, thank you. It does have 60 listens and 48 downloads, which is the top audio download of the year so far. So that's big on Patreon. 130 patrons. That means that about half or almost still haven't heard it. So if you haven't, check it out. Don't miss it. And but yeah, the best numbers of the year on a podcast, I believe. I don't think anything. There was one thing that was close that I did. The one where I pooped my pants live on the podcast. That did. Weirdly, that's a strange thing, but I think I really did a good job promoting that, though. So it's between Jake and me crapping myself on a podcast. So you can feel good about that, Jake, just so you know.
That makes me feel amazing that it took you to shit yourself to replace the power that I bring, apparently. My God. Do you feel like they crapped their pants tonight, or did they deliver in your eyes? Because the chat is all over the place. Some people said this was WrestleMania levels of good. Joe Bishop said that. Other people are like, it's trash. Glad the crowd liked it, but not for me. So I'm really curious. I know you were a Sasha Banks mark, pretty much. You would mark out for her quite often.
Right.
I've never been a huge fan of her. Like, I liked her in NXT, but the main roster version of her never lived up to that. And I felt like her NXT run was short, and we never really got more of that boss bitch attitude that she possessed.
Yeah.
She kind of got held back, as we know, but
it's more of the entitled. I don't know. It's like the entitled attitude instead. It's like the same thing that I feel when I see Bianca start to talk about things and some other people. Like this weird, like, look how cool I am. Like, you suck. Like, it's not really even the same. It's not.
Becky had that for a bit.
Yes. Like, it's something the women do. I don't know. It's like a cringy thing.
Charlotte had it for quite a while with that face run that fell apart. That was terrible. That's when she threw the belt, I believe. I
don't know why it's like that. But let me tell you something real quick about, you asked about Sasha, and I don't know if you had more to say, but real quickly, Sasha or Mercedes Moné, what it reminds me of now is it kind of reminds me of like Matt Hardy, the broken gimmick, how like, at one time it was amazing and I wanted to buy the t-shirt, go to every show. I was a huge mark. But then, like, it starts to get worse and worse, and then eventually everybody doesn't like it, and you keep trying to tell people, I promise you it can be good. It was good. It can be good again.
It was amazing. Just trust us. This was great. This was one,
that's what it's not quite the same thing, but that's sort of what I feel like. I'm, like, waiting for her to ever be as good as in NXT. It feels like in NXT, when she was the champion for this like 5-month, 6-month run she had at some point with the glasses and the crowds and the way she was a heel, was so good, and it culminated with these great matches and everything. And I just
her and Bayley had these epic fights and feuds that really paid off in the long run. I felt like the Iron Woman match was
it's never happened again
of it all.
It's never happened again for her. I don't know why.
And you were there in person when they had the big Hell in a Cell match with Charlotte, and even live, like, all right, it was fun to see. It was memorable in that regard, but it wasn't amazing. Her New Japan debut was really anything but stellar. I thought that one was really flat. I know the crowd couldn't cheer, but that was kind of bad. Then the way her finisher is very odd to take. So if you're really not prepared for the landing, it's going to look bad.
That new finisher or whatever she's doing. What happened to her old finisher?
Yeah, the bank statement was, the backstabber type thing with the knees was great.
Why did she change that? This new one looks like
into the submission that she had. I loved that. I don't know what she's going for, because then it's like a backwards crossroads. It's just an awkward landing. And then the first time she did it on New Japan, it looked terrible with Kyrie, unfortunately. And then going forward, I feel like it just progressed, and she had a not great run there with New Japan. She got injured with the match with Willow. That's the only reason Willow won. As they basically said on commentary, it was a tournament for Mercedes. She was supposed to win the belt. She, broke her ankle, right? I believe in that match.
She fell down straight, weirdly caught her ankle on the floor. Sideways.
Yeah, and, it's a terrible accident, obviously, and I'm glad she's back, but I was there when Sasha, Saraya came out at Grand Slam, and everybody went nuts. And then after a week, it died down.
I don't think that's going to happen with her, but it is part of what makes it seem like, how do I believe this now? I don't even know.
But see, it's not just, I'm going to keep calling her Sasha, Mercedes, but we've seen so many talents now that have come over, and they get this infamous Vince 3-week push that Tony's pulling, and then they're forgotten about, or in the mid card, or you don't see them at all. Usually is what happens. Most of them, they brought in Aleister Black, and Malachi he takes out Cody and Arn Anderson. They're gonna have this great run. Andrade comes in. Keith Lee, he had that huge deal, and everybody went nuts. And so many people have come in, and then I just feel like they're really lacking stars. So they tried to present her as a huge talent tonight, and I appreciate that. I don't know if they should have waited for her to come out at the end and just to do the save instead of having her open the show.
You're right.
Why.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would have had more of an impact.
Or they could have opened the show with this match and then had her come out to do the save, and then she could have eventually. Then they could have announced that, by the way, at the end of the show, she'll be back out here. That would have been a little weird, and I think we're wrong probably, but I
just wouldn't have had her out there twice. I would have had her talk the second week.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I called
this week.
I'm not gonna lie. I called for her to come out twice in the chat. I was like, I hope she comes out again, because this can't just be.
You nailed it, but
I wanted her to, because whatever. So it was cheese ball. I will say that.
Commentary kind of telegraphed it, and I don't hate what they gave us tonight, but I really dislike Riho. I try to suspend disbelief. I know I sound, Cornette must be having a heart attack because she was in the main event, but it's not just the size thing. I mean, that's a part of it. But
if it wasn't for Boston thing, I don't know if I would like this. It's because
that's what it was. The crowd was so hyped that it made it better than what it was probably would have been anywhere else.
The crowd was loud, man. They made it seem like WrestleMania out there. I felt like
they really gave them all the energy they had for this Dynamite.
Her music sucks, by the way. I'm sorry.
I don't like
what
the
are you
CEO
doing,
song.
What does that
I thought
even
her
mean?
New Japan theme was better, Joe. I thought it was much better.
Why are they calling her CEO? Is that what is that?
Because she's the boss.
Because she's the boss.
They're going with.
So because they can't say the boss.
Because she can't be the boss, as Sasha Banks was. So now she's the CEO.
They literally took the boss from her. Like, they got that trademark.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure that was trademarked.
I had no idea that. I mean, I got it, but it was like I was like, where did I didn't know this was here. But her song was cringy to me. People can chant along to it, but you know what it reminds me? It reminds me of Swerve's song. Swerve is it's like people kind of vibe a little bit to it, but it's not very good to me. Like, it's not like a good, it sounds like Corey Feldman's song. Listen to this. It sounds like the Comeback King or whatever from Corey Feldman, dude. That's what I kept thinking. I'm like, the Comeback King. A terrible song. Listen to this.
AEW in Boston, in our hometown.
CEO. And by the way, when Corey Feldman starts a show
with his angels,
they try to get
kidnapped, brainwashed victims.
Well, no, he promises them crack or something.
Home.
He's like, "You'll get crack, trust me." No, they make the crowd chant, "Come back, King, come back, King," and it sounds just like that. Listen to this, guys. You can't make this up. Now listen to this.
Know what time it is? It's a comeback. I'm the comeback king. I am missing nothing. If it
Like it's the same time. I'm the comeback king. It's the same type of thing. It's just bad. I don't know, man. I had a great, I don't know if you heard it, man, but I had a great entrance theme. Mercedes, you could have used mine.
She trashes WWE so much and shits on them, but then says that she's going to go back there the week before she debuts for AEW. She says eventually she'll go back to WWE after trashing on them for well over a year.
Maybe she thought that was like gonna like confuse people and get hype going or something.
I don't know. That was definitely a weird decision, but
yeah,
I mean,
wrong.
she trademarked statement maker, Mercedes MONE, MONE talks, bank MONE, and bank on MONE. So I mean, she's got all of her ideas from
MONE.
WWE. It's all of NXT ideas, and you didn't develop a new character. You didn't try anything else. You're just the knockoff of Sasha Banks. So I was hoping to see a bit more. We'll see what happens, but. If they continue to push the women's division, that'd be stellar. But they really need to put a lot into it. It just can't be the 9 o'clock break, 10-minute match that they throw out there with 2 commercial breaks.
Yeah,
that's all we ever get. And for a little while, they had some really great matches. Britt Baker and what was her name? She was on the show not that long ago.
So Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa, my God, drawing a blank.
Now Thunder Rosa ditched us like real quick. She was like, "Oh, you know what? Fuck you guys." Blessed and open.
That's the contract talking. But the news around Mercedes MONE, the former Sasha Banks, is that it's a multi-year deal. It's apparently 3 years. At what I've heard rumored was $3 million a year.
That makes sense. Okada's $4 million, so that that lines up a bit.
I heard 3 years, $3 million per, so $9 million total.
Come on, Mercedes. Don't you want to just look at her, Jake? Look at her. Oh, God. Oh.
She's so money. She's so money. She's so money. So fucking money. She's so money.
Come on, baby. That would have been fire. I'm sorry. But no, I'm serious.
I like that better. I mean, come on.
If you got a professional group to re-record what I made and made it like oh my God, she looks amazing when she comes out with that instead of like whatever.
It's such a forced chant, and because it sounds like the crowd is chanting in the audio, it makes if the crowd does chant along, it only emboldens it. It makes it sound louder.
Yeah.
But if the crowd's not chanting along, it still sounds like they are. So they can always film it in such a way, too, that it can seem like it's caught on. So in case it does become lame, they still have it recorded in such a way it's not going to be an issue. I will say, though, we've got quite a bit to cover tonight. Still a lot of WWE news to get to. Obviously, we're reacting to big business. Right off the bat, I want to pick your brain. What did you think of the Darby Allin match? Because they really wanted to show that he was a hurt pup. We'll get to the heel turn and all the angles later, but the match itself, I want to know.
I'll explain this to you in a second, Jake, because this is the biggest write-off of television ever, because we might be writing Darby off the planet. So, this had to be really good that he may be dead, because he might be dead. So,
exactly. He went into the match stitched up. So now they had to make sure that, oh, God, please stop. He's already dead. Yeah, we needed that.
No, because he could fall off Mount Everest. I mean, he could be out for weeks. He could be out for months. He could be out forever. He could be dead.
He could run out of oxygen. This is how he could have planned to go out.
Yeah.
This could be his
I'm going to tell
crescendo.
I'm sorry. I'll tell you what. If Darby Allin, I don't know when he's going away and coming back. I'm going to tell you right now. I think it's possible he's dead. I bet guys, I think Darby Allin's going to die. I'm going to say that. I don't like that I'm saying that. I think Darby Allin's going to die.
It's a tough go of it for Darby, apparently. He's going to run out of oxygen up there and be the next, Green Boots? Or, whatever. He's going to be stuck up on Mount Everest, just frozen in the corner. People are going to go up and take selfies with Darby's corpse.
Then there'll be people, wrestling fans, trying to go find Darby. But
what did I tell you last time? Just get the AEW flag to the summit. That's all you need.
Put a
Tony
picture
pays for the expedition.
Tony Khan's head on a flag, waving up there.
Yeah, just the whole time, so the flag just waves. There you go.
They're
Perfect.
lucky. I don't know how many tickets they sold tonight. It sounded to me like there was 8,000 people. I don't know what the number is, but based on the bowl that I was looking at and how everything was and how it sounded, I mean, but one thing is for sure. We've been listening to AEW crowds of 2,000 people, or about, I'll give them the credit. I'll say 3,000 or less. There's been 3,000 or less people every week for so long. The tonight in Boston, it sounded like old AEW again. Because
that place, I forget how much it holds in the TD Garden.
16.
I was there last
16,000.
September. Yeah, and they had 12,000 for Suicide Boys when I took Danny, and it was fucking loud. I'll tell you that much. I've been front row to concerts, Korn, Slipknot, shit like that. My ears didn't ring as much as coming out of there. It was nuts. But actually, they sold, drum roll please, 9,306 tickets.
Oh, I was close. 8,000.
According to WrestleTix, so you're not that far off. Multiple sources have confirmed that AEW Big Business has distributed 9,400 plus tickets tonight. Any section that is partially credited, there's several upper decks, have now been fully distributed. So they were giving out an excessive amount of tickets.
You want to know something? My aunt called me, and she said, do you want to go to the show tonight? The Salvation Army is giving away tickets.
Yeah, they packed them in. There was not an empty spot in that house for where they had it open for seating. So they can't say it wasn't a sellout for them. It looked beyond full from every angle that I saw photos tonight. I saw Twitter reactions and, quite a lot. Oh, D. Welsh saying he's going to be at Raw Monday with a JCS sign. Hell yeah.
He better be there with a hot rod in his pocket too. No, so TD Garden,
9,400 fans packing them in the Garden.
Bad.
I mean,
they could have,
like you said, it holds like 12 or 14, so it's not huge.
Well, technically the Garden holds 19,000, but when it's a wrestling show, they can only sell about, I think it's 16,000, something like that, maybe 15, 16,000. So if it's 16,000 with wrestling, we'll round it up for them. We'll say 10,000.
19,156 max capacity. Wrestling was 14,952.
Ah, okay. So even a little bit less.
That's one of the last numbers that I had on here. But their full capacity for basketball is 19,156.
Yeah, I mean basketball is crazy. You can get right up there. Hockey, you have to have all the boards and everything, and
exactly. The court is the only thing that you have to worry about for basketball. So
that's pretty good, man.
No stage, no pyrotechnics. There was a gentleman that's suing WWE and Triple H and a few of the other talents for when he lost hearing actually at WrestleMania. And WWE's defense was, you went to WrestleMania, what did you expect? That was their legal defense. And the guy says, when he didn't buy the ticket, someone bought it for him, so he didn't know what he was expecting, and that's kind of his argument. So they're going into arbitration because the two different courts threw out the actual, attempt at a judgment. So now they're going to have to see if there's any way to make an agreement between the two, see if it gets paid off.
Can you prove that the guy lost his hearing, though? Can you actually prove that somehow? Is there a way? There was
for the way it was reported that, he went to a medical facility afterwards, then to the hospital, and then it had followed on after, but the pyrotechnics went off near him, and that caused a significant hearing loss.
Okay. Because, I mean, if there was something that wasn't done or regulation not met, or a possibility for something like that. I mean, it could be because the pyro going off, and depending on where you're sitting, like somewhere is the worst place to sit. I know this is kind of a funny thing to say, but somewhere is the worst place to sit where like the sound is, you're absolutely going to get the sound hitting you harder than anybody else. And so, you could lose your hearing and nobody else could, I guess. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, because he was at WrestleMania 38 and his name is Marvin Jackson.
What the hell?
And the court now agreed to, that it would have to be moved, like I said, to arbitration. So we'll see what happened. But they said that WWE had argued that fans had to check boxes before buying tickets online, agreeing to the terms and provisions, including agreements to enter arbitration over legal problems. He said that he was an invitee. He didn't purchase tickets, so he didn't have to accept the terms of service.
Jesus.
But he's saying he's currently seeking over $1 million in relief, including all damages, penalties, costs, expenses, prejudgment interest, and attorney fees. So I guarantee they'll settle.
Yeah, give him $1 million and say bye. I mean, like, just be done with it. Give him the $1 million, assuming he really lost his hearing. And, if If I was WWE, I'd just say, like, we got your legal fee. We got your hospital fees for life. And here's $500,000. Now,
here, you're covered. Be good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're covered forever, and here's $500,000. Go away.
You think about the other people that had the group lawsuit. Was it WrestleMania 24? I have to look it up now, thinking off memory, where the pyro cable snapped and came down and injured quite a few people.
Yeah.
I think it was 24.
That's a problem, too.
And then the Rumble, right, had the Mania sign that caught on fire.
Yep.
We had some people there that there was fire raining down.
Remember we were at Mohegan Sun a while back, and it was also at a couple of those shows back when I was going to SmackDown a lot, and you came to that Mohegan Sun show, and the big steel WrestleMania sign, and all I could think of was this thing falling and killing like 50 people.
Yeah, because we were pretty much right beneath it. You don't realize how gigantic that thing is. So
that thing is massive and scary and whatever. But yeah, real quick, just to go back to the Mercedes thing again. I just, I was excited a little bit because it's Mercedes, my hometown girl. I know this girl for the most, in some small way. I know, I pop for Chaotic Wrestling in North Andover, and we're in Boston, and it's loud, and so that stuff was nice for me, and for everybody, they enjoyed it because of the energy of the crowd. Did this show really deliver that much? I think they delivered on making her a bit of a spectacle. I don't think it was great. It was kind of like okay, let's see what happens, I guess. I think you'll probably get better stuff from her going forward, to be honest. I just think it was
about... so. I hope it was kind of like a nerves thing and working out the kinks.
Well, she was
whatnot.
Definitely going to cry. I mean, she was, because you're going out there, but here's the other thing. I'm going to bring this up too, because it's another thing I want to talk about. But she's going out there wondering, how many tickets did we sell? How's the crowd going to respond to me after all this time? I'm coming back from injury. Is it going to be as big as we think it is? Is the crowd, whatever. And the crowd's going off. And so that had to hit her, and it did, and that's why she was tearing up and stuff. But let me ask you this. Back in the day, it's just so weird how wrestling has changed. Back in the day, the stars that would come out and debut and things like that, you talk about like everyone from Macho Man to Hulk Hogan to Bret Hart to Shawn Michaels to Stone Cold to whoever it was, whatever it was, The Rock, you name it. Like, what is going on, man? Is this the crying era? Everybody comes out and cries. It's like that's what everybody does.
It does seem that way.
Everyone is a crybaby. It's not just the Cody. He's the worst one, but everybody is crying. All these stars, you want to like root for them and they're superheroes, but instead, and you know what it's going to lead to is, a future generation is going to go out there full of cry. They're going to cry too, because they're going to be like, well, the person I loved went out there and they were so emotional. I'm emotional now. I'm doing what Sasha was doing, and they're going to cry. And like, we're just going to have all these crybabies. I mean, MJF might be the only one who's like new, and maybe Darby. And so, well, he'll be crying when he's dead next week on Mount Everest. But
yeah,
just these people are crying like crazy, and it's like, I don't know, man. I get it, and I understand, and even Triple H like endorses that sort of thing. Go out there and be real, and it's like, wow, that's a feeling. But like, I'm starting to worry a little bit. Like this is why wrestling is so now small, because other people watch it and they go, what the fuck am I watching? People used to be like, wow, Stone Cold stunning people, he's drinking, Rock's there, he's Zambonis and arresting, what's going on? This shit's wild, holy shit. Now it's like I'm watching the fake wrestling and they're crying. Fuck.
Well, I feel like everybody has the same mindset of, this was my dream, this was always my dream. Like they saw Shawn Michaels, the boyhood dream, and they grew up in the 90s, and that's all they hooked on to. They forgot everything else, and everybody, oh, and yes, MJF did cry, so Luke's right about that. Everybody cries, but it's the way they do it, and it's the characters behind it. They're crying now because this is my dream, I wanted to be here, instead of I fought to be here. I'm crying because I'm mad, I'm pissed off, and I made it, that kind of thing. You're lacking that or oversensitivity, and you're lacking that, like, I don't know, the machoism in a way.
Yeah, the alpha, the macho and the alpha is gone. Like you just said, MJF, you're right. I guess MJF has done that. So even the most alpha of the alphas, MJF, who's this guy on the mic who's nuts, even he is out there going like, if a Jewish boy from New Jersey, What's wrong with you people? What's wrong with you
quarters
guys?
Thrown at him.
You know what? You're right. MJF did do that. Now, see, I'm not even scared of you. I'm not scared of you, MJF. Bro, you know what you're scared of? I'll throw a menorah down a flight of stairs, and you'll cry, like, on a snap of a dime, brother. You suck, too. All right, MJF? You scumbag? Everyone's a pussy. I'm not watching this shit. I'm tougher than them. Anyway, whatever. Let's play a donation real quick. Let's see what somebody says.
Shit bum.
Darby is about to die. Owie.
Darby's about to die. Chief Wahoo. We got Jake DeMarco. It's our second episode back on Out of Nowhere. Thanks for the $5 ship, mum. Appreciate it. Remember, there's a brand new $24 Jake donation. Jake is back. And there's a $25 The Rock Mana is Gay donation. You like that one? Oh, my God, brother. So enjoy those. Use those and enjoy them quite a bit. And also, I was going to play a sound clip of Cody Rhodes, but I guess it's not working, so my bad. Oh, well, it's okay. But yeah, overall, it was all right, but the crowd helped things tonight on AEW. Otherwise, it wasn't very great. I could see other fans watching this. If you didn't appreciate the crowd and you didn't really like Mercedes Moné, then you probably did not like this show. You probably were upset. You know what I mean? Ric Flair cried. Well, yeah, but Ric Flair maybe like one couple times. When did Ric Flair cry? Like when he was older. He didn't cry when he was younger. You know, Ric Flair didn't cry when he was younger. Ric Flair started crying when he was like an old man, and it was weird. It was weird when Ric Flair did it. He'd be like, oh, God. Ric Flair became pathetic. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I love Ric Flair, but he started getting kind of pathetic at some point when he was older because he's always reflecting on his friends and people, and he's crying all the time now. He cries all the time now. He's an old man. This is what he does. He's crying all the time, but he didn't cry in his heyday. He was limousine riding, jet flying. He was banging hoes and stuff. He said he wasn't crying back when he was old.
Exactly. And really quick before we switch subjects too, I just wanted to mention that Monday's Raw that D. Welsh was mentioning, their tickets distributed right now is at 11,823, and a sellout would be 12,770. So they're less than $1,000 away from being a full sellout for Monday Night Raw this upcoming week
in Boston.
And then going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then a week after that, we're going to go ahead and see as well. They've got like 12 or 14,000 tickets distributed. So it's just everything's going like hotcakes before Mania. Raw's been sold out for the last 5 weeks consecutively. So,
yes, Luke, I have cried because of a commercial with a little kid.
It'll be the 9th consecutive TV sellout. Sorry,
for Raw,
for WWE at this point.
Yeah, WWE is doing pretty well. By the way, everybody that went to AEW tonight, I hope you had fun. A lot of my friends were hitting me up. I want to say thank you to everybody. I had massive amounts of people hitting me up. Come watch the show. I got tickets. Want to go? I mean, everybody seemed to have a ticket. It was unbelievable. Even my goddamn aunt messaged me. Like I said, Salvation Army was giving away tickets. I had lots of people messaging me about tickets. So I want to say thank you to those people. I had somebody in AEW reach out to me, a friend of we know. And so thank you to them, but like to everybody. But I just couldn't. I just didn't want. I wasn't gonna go. It wasn't anything I was gonna do. Driving to Boston, I just wasn't feeling it at this point. Last minute, my wife had
park 2.5 miles away.
My wife had to work tonight's a big part of it too. Like, and just all this stuff. And then me and Jake couldn't do the show. And so like I would rather be here at this point. If things were going crazy well and Leah wasn't working and things like that, I'd be like, all right, I'll go. But we didn't plan it out very well. So, yeah, anyway. But thank you to everybody. And AEW would have had me. And thank you to them and whatever else.
I mean, I don't know. The Darby Allin match was decent. They put him through hell, but it was okay. And I'm not crazy about Switchblade Jay White. I've never been a huge fan of his. And the heel turn we kind of seen coming. All right, they're going to feud. But the thing is, they're the ROH six-man tag team, champions. And then you have the actual AEW six-man tag champs in the Acclaimed. So what are they going to do? Unify the belts? It's just very bizarre. And I wish there weren't so many titles. That also, like, as we said before, really dilutes just the potency of becoming a champion when
AEW 's a
everybody's
mess.
holding belts. Yeah. Then we had the trios match with the Elite, the new Elite, if you want to call that, with Okada coming out and facing Eddie Kingston, Penta, and Pac, who is back. So that was interesting to see that.
Pac's
You
always
knew it was
back.
going to happen.
There's gonna be
He
there's
disappears. He comes back a couple months later, about 8 months, and then he's gone after a few matches, and the cycle continues.
It's the fifth. Is it the fifth time? I don't know what the number is, but it's got to be funny.
At least it has to be at this point.
How many times have we heard the words like "Pac is back"? Like it's like the fifth time. It's got to be. It's hilarious.
It's got to be. Yeah.
It's getting to be really funny. The guy just can't get traction.
Couldn't leave because of COVID, and yeah.
Mercedes has dog face reminds me of Greyhound racing.
Oh my god, my brother! What? Come on. Oh my god, brother. Mr. Pico Boulevard with the $2 super chat. Mr. Pico Boulevard, thank you. If you guys want to donate, you know how to do it. Links above. Super chats work. Just hit the like button. That's a big thing to do for us too. It's out of nowhere. Jake is back. Keep the hype alive, baby, in the chat. What's up?
Just like Pac is back, I'm back, baby. And I'm upset. I wanted to like the Samoa Joe Wardlow match, but it made not a lick of goddamn sense to me. You have the undisputed whatever bullshit demon thing going on. Why did they not come out and help Wardlow? They have cheated or interfered or at least threatened to. And then the whole point, I thought, was for Wardlow to win to give injured Adam Cole the title. So why would they not have helped him beat Samoa Joe here? And then to build up Wardlow for a week for a basic throwaway match? This could have been a pay-per-view feud. I don't think they should have beaten Wardlow clean here. This ruined him, at least for a lot of people.
Again, he takes...
Again, they just had him come back. He won the multi-man match at the pay-per-view. All right, Revolution. He's out on top after getting a black eye in the match. And they buried him again. And it's not just because he lost, but it's how he lost. Getting choked out, middle of the ring, and no one came to his side. No one's gonna. So what is the point of the Devil's group? I just don't understand it. So there's that. But even still, if he wasn't, and they said, "Oh, I want no interference," if they solved that little logic loophole, even just the way the match went down. I mean, these guys were going to put on a stellar performance, but it should not have been on a Dynamite. They really could have made something out of this. They could really have turned this into an awesome blood feud. Wardlow is a great wrestler for that big size. And, I mean, he's still got a little bit to go, but he can get the crowd behind him. And now they have him as a bad guy. I don't know if that's what everybody wants. They don't seem like they want to boo him. And now we get what? He beat MJF in the middle of the ring there, and they never followed up on it at all when he was champion.
Yeah, everything in AEW is boom, 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 boom. Take it away, do it. Go back, try it. Pac's injured, Pac's back. Darby Allin has traction. Go die in Everest. Like, bro, do you hear the chant for Darby tonight, everybody? It's like this guy just got the biggest rub from Sting that you could get. He should be now on the Darby Allin Sting tour, like doing his thing for weeks to come. But no, he's got to go climb Mount Everest. And when are we ever going to see him again? For weeks, we're not going to see him if he doesn't die. So, and again, it's always start and stop with everybody right now in AEW. Start and stop. Start, stop, and then go into oblivion. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
and you get nothing out of
in
it.
Oblivion. Yeah, they get nothing out. No one goes anywhere.
This is what happened with Hangman. They start and stopped with him. I feel like more than anybody. Every time he comes back and I'm not drunk anymore. I'm back with my friends. Forget my friends. I got new friends. Forget those friends. I'm going back to my old friends. Forget the old friends. I'm a new guy. I don't need friends. Like, this is what we've seen, the evolution of him. And then he never does anything.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
I mean, unfortunately, Sasha Banks, Mercedes is not on the level of CM Punk. Having her tonight be the main focus of the show, I get what they were going for. It was an obvious to the smarter fans that she would be there, but then why not advertise her and get more people maybe that would not know she was going to debut or that watched WWE and formerly liked her could say, oh, I have to check this out. So again, that illogical, booking stance, the thing that Tony pulls to try and be a surprise, because as you stated in the chat, everyone can turn out the goddamn lights.
Yep. The lights go out
Why?
again. They still haven't figured out how to stop people from turning the lights off in 4 years. We haven't figured that out.
I mean, I know House of Black, if anybody's going to turn out the lights, it should be them, maybe Sting, but they do it for everybody. It's not a surprise. It doesn't make sense most times.
Unless you're mystical.
Silly.
Unless you're mystical with something, like you shouldn't be doing it, and they should be able to write in a way around that, right? And that's what it is. It's lazy writing. It's like, oh, we'll turn the lights out, and then they'll come out, and people wonder what's going on. You don't turn the lights out for a heel nobody to be out there, or a heel team. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the girl from that group? Is that the Magic Girl? Okay, so maybe she does have some sort of thing.
Well,
so maybe I'm missing something. Wasn't she in the House of Black?
Sky Blue is the one that
I guess
is now working with Julia Hart. So.
I suppose maybe if she still got some kind of powers, like then that's like something that could be done. But
that's
like,
what I'm saying, they have that mystical, spiritual.
Come from under the ring. Come from roll out from under the ring and then stay. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. Or come from the crowd, or just write it some other way that you don't have to turn the lights out. That way, when you do turn the lights out once a year or twice a year, instead, dude, what's the count? What is the count on lights going out in AEW per year? It's like 8.
Insanely inflated. But
it's higher than 8.
It's there.
That's crazy. Like the light,
it's nuts.
Unless you're the Undertaker, it's like the light shouldn't be going out almost at all, but they're going out all the time in AEW. It's taking away from it, and they're fucking stupid. Too many belts, too many lights going out. Hey, Stacks.
CEO no pun intended trumps the boss in .org.chart. I enjoyed this show, thanks Boston for crowd. And she will be heel when business is best for that.
And Haystacks Monet dropping the 617. I don't know if that's for the Boston area code or why, but okay, I'll take it.
Hey, it works. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, she instantly has to be heel. And it was just the point that we never got to see that side of her again that I was basically trying to iterate.
It's that heel. It's that heel side of her we haven't seen. We've got this new sort of just very I don't know. It's like this snobby, rich, like I'm amazing thing. I'm fine, confidence, whatever it is, it's all good. And maybe she has that a little bit coming back. Maybe it will be like that again. But I don't think it will be, because a big part of it is the vibe that a wrestler brings, and she doesn't have, like, that music that she had was a big part of it. It felt like when her music matched her, like it felt like I don't know, man. It made her feel like special, and it made me. And then her promos made sense with what she was doing, and she was having really good matches. So it was like everything was really good when she was in NXT. Her music was a 10. Her promos were like an 8. She had one of the better promos at the time. Her wrestling, maybe her promos were a 7, but her wrestling was like an 8, as well. But then when she came to the main roster, it was either the wrestling was a 6, 7, or the promos were 5s and 6s. And the music, eventually it changed. They changed her music, which was stupid. And that wasn't good anymore. So you lowered Sasha Banks down from like a 7, 7, 8 down to like a 5, 6, 6. And it was.
And I would say the heel turn in New Japan barely counts. It didn't even go anywhere. I mean, it just fizzled out, and she got injured, and that was it.
Yeah, she didn't really get to do it.
I wouldn't count that.
She didn't get to do what she might have wanted to do on the Indies, and I think she was probably about to. It felt like she was about to debut in AEW, like in the next coming.
Well, they apparently have hired her 2 months ago. The same reports are also saying that about the time frame for the contract is that she was hired in December, and they were waiting for the right time to debut her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
so. It's interesting. One thing I will say from tonight, is that Will Ospreay, there's your face. There's your new guy.
Mm-hmm.
Rock it up his ass if you have to. They don't have MJF. He's out injured. They need that person that people want to watch. I think Ospreay could be it. He was really good on the mic tonight. He said it's really, really hard for him not to swear. He has to remember that constantly. So I was curious to see if he slipped up at all. And he held himself well. He spoke and enunciated because his accent sometimes can be a little difficult. And I thought he came across as a hell of a face, essentially there. And I'm looking forward to the match with Danielson.
Yeah, he did all right. I thought he was probably the best promo of the night, actually. I mean, Mercedes, great moment. Ospreay,
again, though,
promo.
the crowd really made the difference. The way they were chanting, and they were so raucous for the whole thing, and being that at that capacity, really, like you said, it just came across so well on TV. It seemed like energy was on a whole nother level.
I will go to the no, I don't think her theme song was a 10, Janelle. I'd say her theme song was, I mean, it was a 10 for her, but I would say that it's, her theme was like an 8. I think it was an 8. It was a good wrestling theme for her. It was a good, catchy little cheesy theme, like it was really good. I liked it for her. 312 votes. AEW Boston Mercedes debut was, and the consensus is good at 33%. Now, if you add good and amazing together, you get over 50%. So overall, it is a thumbs up. You do have about 40% thumbs down, though, so it's getting there close. But I think I agree with the poll. I think because of the crowd and the vibe and everything, you kind of got to go, I mean, yeah, let's see what happens. But, like, you wish you came out like, holy shit. But, like, it didn't feel quite like that. She got close at times to getting there, but then it would just go back into weird, vague, like, I'm back, I'm going to do that. And then, like,
I'm
okay.
home.
Yeah.
The infamous line that we keep hearing from everybody that comes back.
That was cringy, but don't do that. We know you're there.
And as you stated, it wasn't a surprise, and she hasn't been gone for years and years to really make everybody miss you to a level that it's a fever pitch, like you said. So the debut was like, oh, she did debut. Oh, okay, cool. Like, that's kind of what you get from it, instead of having that, oh my God, because it's not a surprise. Everybody knew where it was going to happen and when in Boston. But maybe it could have been. I think that might have come across a bit better. This just felt very, like I said, flat. Maybe have the save tonight and then the promo next week. But I don't know. It didn't feel like it was worth all the buzz, and I'm glad that people enjoyed themselves and they saw somebody that they wanted to certainly cheer for. But I'm hoping, like you said, she is able to capitalize in the women's division on the hype.
Yeah, I think it helps, hopefully. But, I mean, like you said, with what's gone on with Paige, it's like, I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like Tony is keeping all his toys in the closet just to keep them in there. I don't know. It's very weird. And he really needs to start making moves on people. Let's go. Speaking to you guys, I know you guys want to be heard. There's donations waiting, so let's go ahead and play them. And then a little bit later, I'll hop in. I'll look at the chat and see what's up over there. And me and Jake are here for ya. So let us know what you think. And plus, we're going to get to some WWE and other news and stuff like that as well. And, of course, sign up on Patreon and go listen to the Jake and Joe podcast. That's a lot of non-wrestling talk over there. It's really good. You'll get hard, and I promise you'll like it, and you'll tell your mother about it. And now, a man who I met at the second ever AEW Dynamite in Boston. It's the Soundwave 92! And he was asking me if I was going to go every time Boston happens, so was he there? Or I guess we'll find out in the dono. Hit that like button. Oh my God, brother. Now this is what Jake missed, sending through turkey donations.
Absolutely. My favorite.
Oh my God, brother.
God, die.
Thanksgiving's getting kind of friggin' crazy because people's blood might be the gravy. Turkeys might gobble on our giblets instead of gobble
my God, brother. Thank you so much, Soundwave 92. I cannot wait to hear what this says. Yeah.
Are you getting Mercedes won't mean shit unless they actually book her properly, otherwise Tony Khan wasted more of his daddy's money. I can already see her eventual feud with Britt Baker coming a mile away, but Boston had a good crowd tonight at least.
Well, I did not. I'm assuming based on that maybe Soundwave did not make it to the show tonight because I think he would have said something about being there, but maybe not. So Soundwave, I don't think he was there. Soundwave let us know, but I'm going to be optimistic about it. I'm going to wait and see. Hopefully this helps go somewhere. But I'm the herky jerky. Everybody's got the herky jerky booking in AEW, and it's kind of messing up the company. And so I'm just not. I don't buy it yet. Anything she says, I don't buy it. I think it was better than Paige's return.
Yeah,
because almost feels like Paige wasn't
She was
sure.
a real mess when she got back.
I don't even know what she said. Did she say I'm back or something like that? Wasn't that what she said?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah, that was annoying. I mean, yeah. Mercedes almost did it tonight. She's like, Boston.
She had, I didn't like the hair even.
Right.
I mean, it's.
I liked her the one she first.
The fire one.
Yeah.
That looked cool. I don't care.
But then I thought she had the Bruins thing on her back of her head, and I was like, yeah, but I'm not sure that's what it was. I think it was AEW.
I said AEW CEO.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also it's Bruins colors. Yeah. Well, also the colors are now different in AEW. So. Exactly.
And one of the things I forgot to touch on was Adam Cole. We saw him tonight. We had story time. It was a quick little promo, but I liked what they did there to build up the Wardlow match. The precious gold was captured, the prophecy fulfilled, and the kingdom became whole. But it didn't, because you guys did nothing. You didn't help him. He lost. And now what?
Because Tony Khan was too busy. He was like, all I can think about is Sasha or Mercedes. He's like, oh, Mercedes, that's all. And he forgot about it.
I got Sammy out of here for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. I won't rape that woman.
He's suspended. He won't even be able to look at you.
Do you think that they were looking for a reason to suspend Sammy so that they could get him out of there?
It's so bizarre how it played out and the timing. And, they said that he didn't follow concussion protocol when after landing the shooting star press, his foot and knee came right down on Jeff's head. Didn't concuss him, but did break his nose. But they didn't know he didn't have a concussion at the time. The ref and the doctor apparently said for him to go home, so he picked him up, gave him the GTS, and then pinned him. And that's when Jeff and Matt started yelling at him in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
It was some weird. I don't know if it was a call that didn't come out cross right from the referee or what, but they didn't tell him pin him, go home. They just said go home, so he did his finish. So he got suspended for not following concussion protocol by continuing to wrestle and performing a move on Jeff. But he wrestled another match the week after that said match, and then they decided to suspend him. So it really was just bad timing. And poor Sammy, I felt like he had a lot of potential. And every time it seems like that's another one. Start, stop. He got injured a couple of times, and then some other things happened, other suspensions, other problems. And he's been all over the place. He was healed, and he's faced, and he's healed. And, it's like they don't know what they're doing, and they don't have a lot of things planned out anymore with these guys, sadly.
Yeah, the I wish I had the queued up. I thought I had it queued up. Oh, man, I missed that. I had the Rape That Woman song. I thought it was queued up. I couldn't wait. Well, let's listen to it.
Soundwave said no, he didn't go tonight because
I got the
parking and all that would be awful.
I got the clip, though.
Charlotte beat them both up.
Bro, Sasha Banks, oh my God. When I was at the WWE the other week, I wanted to just go fucking rape that woman.
You had a tryout?
There it is.
You had a tryout?
He was going to try her out.
When I was at the WWE the other week, I wanted to just go fucking rape that woman.
Now, I think, obviously, Mercedes knows. He wasn't actually trying to say he was going to physically harm her. He was trying to say, God, she looked good. She's a good-looking woman, that sort of thing. But obviously that didn't go well, and he got suspended for that. And that was when she was in WWE. He was suspended from AEW for saying something years ago about Sasha. Like, so, and so, like, it's a conspiracy theory to me that they are trying to get him out of here. Because, like,
it was just the timing was so bizarre.
Like, because, I don't know, man. Because I would do it on, I'm sorry, I'm a sicko. I would bring it on TV. I'd be like, you know, I'd have like his girl is coming back probably, right? She had her baby already, right? They already had the kid, or?
Yeah.
Do you think she's ever coming back? She really wasn't good.
What was her name? Ty Conti? Yeah, Ty Conti.
Ty Conti, yeah, Conti.
She was okay in AEW. She started to get better at one point. She was never amazing, but she was decent. I don't know if she'll come back though. It doesn't seem likely. They barely used her for all the time she was there.
Because they could have brought her back, and then she could have been like, you know, yeah, you know, your girl, we're gonna make your woman jealous of me. I mean, that'd be stupid, right? It'd be the obvious thing to do, and have Sammy be like, you know what I said about you. I don't know. It'd be stupid to do it, I guess. Somebody brought it up earlier, like, would they do that? I'm like, no, I don't think so. But I do think that they would get rid of Sammy for a little while. And like, yeah, I'll join your company. Get rid of that fucking guy who said he wanted to rape me.
You raised a piece of shit.
Ric Flair is crying because the Grim Reaper has him on speed dial.
Well,
give it up already.
Right. I mean,
he died twice in his farewell match.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh. Yeah. It looked like he used more young people's souls to stay alive. Like he sacrificed another child so he could stay alive.
It's like the the Lazarus pit in Batman, but it's a little bit different. Instead of being magic.
Oh
shit.
Oh, the bombs! The bomb away from Allison!
We plan the spot all day.
Oh my goodness, eat that Mercedes.
I want you to jam it in.
Holy shit.
Oh, it's in your bunghole. Whoa, it's in your bunghole. I want it jammed in my bunghole. Whoa, it's in your bunghole.
Audio Jungle. Did you ever hear of this group? Joe is wrestling from hell, they're called, and he is telling people not to listen to any other talk shows, that he's the only one that knows everything about things. He says if you want to know anything about Vince, just come to him.
Wow. Well, I'm going to say that he might be a psycho. And how dare he steal my name? How dare you steal my name? Look at this, right? Allison, thank you for the $99.99. I will definitely go check that guy out and make fun of him. Thank you for the $99.99. Look at that. He's 30%. Okay. Very nice of you, Allison. Thank you so much for dropping that big bomb. Everybody write, Allison has a big bomb in the chat. Go ahead. We'll heart that. Boom. Heart that.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
And you know, we mentioned it briefly before, but with the gun club, you know, the Bang Bang Gun Club, however you want to call it, with Jay White in his match, he defeats Darby Allin, who had stitches in his back in several spots that were bandaged up. They beat the hell out of him throughout the match. Then they turned heel with the 3-on-1 attack. The Acclaim come out for the save, but then they try and stop them and bring them to their senses, and they get attacked as well. So it's the heat upon heat upon heat segment. And as you said, they had to find a way to make sure Darby looked freaking dead. So mission accomplished there. Darby is no more. But what was the point of this short run of a face turn for these guys if they were just going to go heel a few weeks later, like Grostafa said? And then on top of it, the Acclaimed, I feel like this is not so much beneath them, but in a way, because it's something, but they've done nothing for so long. Being the Trios champs, you barely see them, and I don't know. It's just there's so many of these moments now in AEW that are just lacking.
Yeah. It was lackluster. Listen, I was not watching AEW. I stopped watching. You stopped watching. So many other people stopped watching. Luke doesn't watch. I think maybe Rastafa watches. He's like the only one. And I tune in a little bit here and there once in a while. And so, no, dude, they've lost us. It's crazy to think where we were when you first, before you left. We were like, WWE's dead. This sucks. AEW is good. Let's watch that. And now we're at the point of like like it's the complete opposite now. It's the way wrestling can change is amazing. It went from WWE's lame now, but NXT is the best thing in the world going, to all of a sudden independent wrestling was as exciting as NXT in a way, to the independent wrestling turning into AEW, and AEW killed NXT, and then AEW was on fire and WWE was sucking, and now WWE is doing fairly well and AEW is really having trouble, and NXT is like whatever. And so like it's weird how the wrestling landscape just mixes around and changes, and you can see why. You can literally see why. All you have to do, I could tell you exactly why in every one of those eras, why things were going wrong and right for every company.
Shit bomb.
And we can tell you in real time right now.
Stop spamming, oh my god, brother, it's hilarious. I wish Darby Allin would live stream his fall in the Kumbu ice fall.
Yeah, brother. Oh my god. Gerald
Speaking
Armstrong. Jesus
Gerald
Christ.
Armstrong
Well, they had to write him off.
there.
They wrote him off TV big tonight because they may be writing him off of Life. So Darby
they had
Allin.
to, you know,
Scumbag
and
Darby Allin is. Here you go, Sting. I'm Sting, a legend. I'm going to give you the best rub ever. Here you go, Darby. Everyone's going to be chanting your name in Boston. And then go kill yourself on Mount Everest or whatever. Great job.
Darby's, not going to survive that. Do you remember? I'm sure you have, but the YouTuber Rusty Cage.
Yeah, I remember the name. I didn't really watch
He
him.
did the knife song and the friendly noose song. He used to play the knife game with his hands years ago, where you don't stab your fingers, and he was incredibly fast. Well, any event, he built a guillotine over the last year or so. In his backyard. And the other day, he had a very ominous set of tweets, and then he went ahead and he did a live stream from the guillotine at nighttime, and he's got his laptop in front of him, and he just barely interacts with the chat. And then he listens to some music, and then about right at the hour mark, he turns the laptop, and then he loads the watermelon into the guillotine, and he thanks everybody for watching, and the camera kind of is turned enough so you can't see it, but you can still hear what's going on, and then he goes, okay, and then you just hear the thud, and then you hear just gurgling and draining sounds. And then his phone proceeds to go off for the next 30 minutes as people are freaked out that he killed himself on live YouTube. So all you hear is the buzzing in the background and some
He's going to lose his
going off.
YouTube.
It doesn't show any violence. I mean, it is insinuated, essentially, but people sent police to his house for welfare checks and whatnot, and he's been reported as fine now, but for a good day or so, people weren't sure if it was a hoax or a legitimate thing.
So it was a hoax, because I heard about it the other day, and then I didn't care enough to look into it anymore, but I was like, that's interesting. So
it was, though. I mean, he definitely trolled his audience for sure.
It's pretty fun. I mean, it's something I would do. I mean,
That's why I said it was right up your alley.
Mm-hmm. I think that, I don't know, I guess he did a smart thing by not showing anything, because, like, YouTube is so stupid. If I did that, it would be like, I'd be like, those are great jokes, it's going to be great, and then the cops would show up, and then, like, then YouTube would get rid of you, because, like, you never know what they're going to get rid of you for. They'll get rid of you for that. They will. They'll get rid of you for that. I mean, I guess they didn't for him, so I don't know what, he's lucky, I guess, but I wouldn't have risked it, just because it's such a big stunt. I mean, because he's probably got millions or thousands of people. I mean,
it was a lot.
Oh my God, brother. It was live. Yeah, no, I know that, but I mean, like, how many subs does he have?
1.7 million.
Oh yeah, see, there you go. So he's so big that it's like you could cause I don't know. People are pussies now, but I love it. Love the idea. I love it. Fuck it. You know what? I would have told my mother I was going to kill myself so that she could have shown up and the camera would have caught her showing up crying, and I would have put a little body on the ground that was covered in blood. And maybe she'd start crying and hyperventilating, and then I'd come out, and then I'd jump out of nowhere. I'd jump out of the shed and scare the shit out of her. Maybe that would kill her. I don't know. Maybe
give her a heart attack.
Wouldn't that be great? Like guys prank and his mother shows up scared for her son, and he scares her, and she has a heart attack and dies on the stream. Like you can't. That would be. How good is that? Like mom's dead. And you scared her. Like, I mean, it couldn't go any better. You didn't kill her, but you killed her. It's crazy. Like, it's...
You certainly didn't save her.
Oh, Jake, your return is here.
Guess who's back? Jake is back. Guess who's back? Jake is back. Grab your banana, peel it down and pretend it's a nutsack and lick it up because Jake is back. Yeah, stay sexy. Sexy, sexy. Stay sexy. Sexy. You gotta stay sexy. Sexy. Stay sexy. Sexy. Sex me. Jake is back.
Oh my god, brother.
Oh my god, brother. Thank you, Huge Boner, for the $24, the new Jake is back donation. I mean, I really think that I want to write jingles for commercials and companies, but I just don't think it pays well anymore.
I don't know. I've always said how damn talented you are to manage to come up with all these different songs, and you always had a way with that.
I got away with owing the IRS is what I got away with. Mercedes, look at that photo for sure. Oh, I like that one. Yeah. That's about all I got to say about AEW. I think tonight. I think we can kind of go into what you guys want to talk about and some other news that's out there. Besides,
yeah, I've got a few stories for you. Breaking into the, the old out of nowhere
format.
Yeah, it's not even the format. It's just the rundown that I lack at this point. I used to be able to aggregate the news better. I'm getting there though. So
you're doing
Monday
you're
Night
great.
Raw.
We don't even need to. We can just look it up. It's just we're that good.
They averaged 1.75 million viewers this week for the USA Network. So it went up by, it looks like a good 15% from the week prior. That's great. 0.56 and 18 to 49. So they're holding strong. I imagine they'll get a bit more before Mania.
Yeah, if the ratings are going to keep going up as they go towards Mania, that's kind of, I mean, it hasn't done that in a while. They have not really had that happen. I mean,
and then 400,000 people watched the A&E biography on Scott Hall, and then the rival episode of Undertaker versus Shawn had 368,000 viewers. So both of those were considered successes as well.
Did you see? There's two things. There was an Undertaker thing that was on something, and I don't think it was that. It was something else, I thought, but now I can't think of it, so forget it. But the second thing that I do remember I wanted to say was the Undertaker's podcast. Have you been listening to that at all? Because
I just saw when I didn't know he had the podcast, and then when he posted the episode with his wife. There was a short that came out, and I was like,
I saw that.
And then I saw it, and it was like, conversations with the dead man, and I was like, oh, cool, Mark Calloway, it's him, and so I'm intrigued to go ahead and watch more. But I only knew it this week that he actually had a podcast. Funny enough,
he's like, I want to do the Joe Rogan thing.
I don't know why I'm doing.
I want to talk with my wife.
I want to talk with my wife,
and it was very weird. It was so I watched the Michelle McCool one. I'm assuming you watched the same one, and it's like it's kind of weird. It's like I don't know, man. It's not fully there yet. It's like he's there.
No.
The Undertaker's there, but he's not like he's his own guest almost. And the other guy that's on the show, nobody's the host is what I'm trying to say. It feels like nobody's the host. It feels like Undertaker's there, but he's kind of waiting to see what everybody else does. And Michelle McCool's waiting for other people to sort of like get to her, like ask her and talk to her. And then Undertaker's co-host is trying to be quiet because they're there. And it's like there's something missing about it, and it doesn't do great in numbers. Like 7 days ago, The Undertaker on Mick Foley and Kane's Next Level Commitment. Like, first of all, that is a horrible title. What the fuck does that mean? Like, was that a thing that went on? I don't even remember that. So anyway, Undertaker. First of all, Undertaker, Mark Calloway.
He's just trying to say like how committed they were to keeping kayfabe and their characters.
So he should have said that.
It's not a great title.
Bad title. So Undertaker, give me a call. My name's Joe Cronin. Please hit me up. Get your guy to call me. Do whatever you can. This title should be Undertaker and Mick Foley on committing to kayfabe or something like that with a wrestling terminology, or with kayfabe in the WWE, or something. I don't even know what the topic's about yet. I got to watch the video, but once I watch the video, I can tell you this title is not good. This title is very bad. And the thumbnail is actually, the thumbnails are getting pretty cool. Like, they look really good, but like I don't know if you want to do some research on whether the thumbnail should be, PNGs, stills of people like I did with this video here tonight, or if it should be in studio. Studio isn't well lit enough, and they don't have a good quality camera upload. So I would get good photos, get a camera, get a tripod, and snap some high-res, bright photos in studio. If Mick Foley indeed was in studio, I don't know if he is, Michelle and him were, then you would cut it down the middle with the two of them sitting across from each other with the microphones. Then right in the middle should be like the number of the episode, and then maybe even the quote of what they're talking about on the bottom and some kind of crazy lettering. That might do better than a generic photo, especially if the title isn't good. So I don't know. Yeah. Bro, there are people that could cover this podcast topic that the views could get more. Like, Undertaker broke kayfabe to save Michelle McCool's life. That's way better. Like, so that title's better. And obviously the video did better. It's got 109,000 views.
That was the first clip I saw.
Right, and that's the first one a lot of people have seen because that's the best title, so they did better. But the other titles, bad, and they all do terrible. So, not good. Undertaker, I'll help you out, Undertaker. Give me a call. Or just...
It shocks me how well Maven's doing on YouTube.
What the hell is he doing?
I was always a fan of his. I liked him from Tough Enough. It's funny that he doesn't care for his theme song because I loved his theme. Like a lot of people.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, it was inspirational for his thing. It was cheesy.
Yeah,
but
I always enjoyed him, and I liked his character. Like for the most part, the presentation he had was good. He kind of fell flat after a while, but I also feel like the booking failed him. So
yeah. I mean, listen. When like the Big Show has done a couple podcasts with Billy Gunn, those get more views. The Undertaker should be bigger. It just should be.
It should be, yeah.
Maven is great. I think he's got what Maven's doing. One of the reasons why Maven's doing so well is, first of all, he's interesting. He delivers a lot of information. He delivers a lot of knowledge. His videos are addictive because they're usually like 7 to 15 minutes long, and he delivers all this knowledge. They're very clickbaity, but he delivers on what he talks about. He does this thing that many, content creators are able to do where it's like anticipation, reward, anticipation, reward, anticipation, reward. And he does it in those videos. And so for that reason, people tune in longer. And then for that reason, then they start to binge his content. And then the numbers are going up and up and up and up. And so Maven is crushing it, and he is entertaining. And like I said, he delivers. I don't do a great job of this all the time. I put out videos sometimes 10 minutes, and I kind of drone on and talk, and it's a nice little podcast thing. But at some point, sometimes people might be like, okay, well, I heard enough. I'm going to get off now. But he is hitting those key points. You get a 10-minute video. You got to deliver 2 minutes of anticipation, boom. Anticipation, boom. 2 minutes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 3, 6, 9, something like that at that point. And he does that. He nails it. So great job, Maven. And the guy's getting fucking 500,000 views on YouTube.
Which is
holy shit.
Incredible. And like you said, the information that he has is that backstage access that most people are so curious about. So that's he has that special insight to what it was really like to work for WWE, to be with Vince, to be in the locker room with all these different stars and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So he's offered a lot of direct access into what it's like to be a WWE star. So I think that's what's really helped him too.
And I think a lot of WWE wrestlers are going to now start doing this. But they're going to take note because, we give Ryback a lot of shit, but Ryback has done a decent job sometimes of making a video that's clickbaity, like what I think about Vince McMahon and things like that. And people want to hear what Ryback has to say about Vince McMahon. So instead of going on other people's shows and saying something, Ryback shoots on this show with somebody, just do it on your own show and create your own content out of it and make your own money out of it. And so Maven has done that. And if a guy like Maven, can do this, every wrestler, James Ellsworth, every wrestler who was in the WWE for a period of time, especially if they were in WWE for a year or more, as long as they were there about a year or more, 3, 4, 5 years, amazing. You got all the content forever. You can literally cover your entire career But Maven is the first person to like sort of be like, what was it like eating catering at WWE? What was it like getting paid at WWE? How did you get paid? It's like no one else has thought of that.
Who's difficult to work with? Who's easy to work with? Who's, like I said, those insider knowledge and opinions that most others either can't say anything about or refuse to. So,
and I mean, his shorts have millions of views. People gobble up Maven's shorts. Do WWE wrestlers get paid when injured? My God, bro, 1 million views. That's crazy. And
like I said, those are the topics people are curious about.
And that's the thing is he went and Googled those things and figured out like what are the top things that people search for. And oh my God, I'm going to deliver the answer. So it holds this credibility. By the way, where are Maven's teeth? This guy, like, you ever get...
They're hiding somewhere.
He kind of looks
He's
like
looking like me.
He looks like a puppet.
You can just barely see him. They're hiding.
I'm going to be like that. I think my daughter has, like, one of her teeth has a hole in it, like from, I think, acid reflux.
Could be.
I'm worried about that, man. That's crazy. I saw her tooth the other day, and I was like, oh, my God, what? Like, I don't know if it's from grinding or
could happen.
Acid reflux. Top 10 regrets of my WWE career, 500,000 views from Maven. Good job. Anyway, what's the next topic, I suppose?
I guess people were originally trying to phrase it as WWE and AEW working together. Not the case. But Naomi and Bayley were there tonight for Sasha's debut. So cool to see that she's still getting support from WWE in a way. The locker room.
Yes, absolutely. I think...
You raised a piece of shit!
Jake DeMarco clap, clap, clap. Jake DeMarco clap, clap, clap. Welcome back, clap, clap, clap.
Aww.
Joe Cronin Nation then, now,
PATRON.
forever. Acknowledged the only club at Botch Club. Hashtag Jimmy Miranda Award. Also
oh my God, yeah. When will we? Maybe now we'll get the Jimmy Miranda Award because
he's still going for it 2 years later.
Yep. I don't know why we couldn't get it. Thank you, sir.
Sup, Joe and Jake, what's your top 5 WrestleMania of all time? My favorite still to this day is WrestleMania X7.
Well, that's so weird that you brought that up because ADTR, thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 ship bump. Because, Jake, wasn't that one of the things that was going to be on our...
Yeah, we were going to go ahead and kind of, you did remembering WrestleMania. We were talking about going from 30 to 40 possibly. But also we had discussed essentially giving, our one favorite and one hated match from each Mania, and there's quite a few that I think will surprise some people for picks.
Yeah, so I mean, we're ADTR. What I'll say is we'll save most of that because I think we're gonna do it coming up.
Yeah, you'll get that before Mania.
It will be an uploaded show too. It won't be live, but it will be free on YouTube, uploaded. And don't forget, you can listen to me and Jake on Patreon. If you haven't heard it, it's up. It's 40 minutes. You can listen to it right now. Become a patron tonight. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. But I'll say that. One of my favorite WrestleManias, and everybody pretty much knows this, you've been listening to me, that WrestleMania 8 is one of my favorite WrestleManias. So we've talked about that before, and we'll probably go into some of that, 8 and 17 and 18, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But,
yeah. I mean, 15 is one of my favorites just nostalgia-wise, and it's not a great Mania, but I still just...
Yeah.
There's a lot to love about it, so...
We should rank them. We should do that, too.
That would be great.
Ranking all 40 WrestleManias. I could do that for sure in a video. Like I could, no, I couldn't because you know what it would be is, Jake, is I'd remember like 15 of them pretty well and I would order them and then all the others I'd be like, I don't remember. I don't know.
You have to go back through. See, I'm terrible at recalling most times. I'm like, oh, I don't remember what the main event was. I have to go. And then I'm like, oh, that's what, I'm
yeah.
Fried with my memory.
I'm fried too. I can remember 1 to 22.
And that's
pretty
impressive
good.
As all hell. I mean, that's what I said. You and Justin and everybody, and you did it just by memory, which was incredible.
That was so weird. And then Catman came in and ruined it, but it's okay. He didn't know the rules. It was funny. It was funny. I'll say that.
Hey, Bullfrog is a moron.
Seabass.
Look at me, Joe!
Damn, Jake, you were a fat fuck, lol. Oh my God, brother, I have to lay off the donations.
Seabass.
Oh my God, brother. Seabass,
Yeah.
what's up? He might be on Luke's side. I'll monetize this $4.50 in a couple of weeks.
He might be, I refer to myself as formerly fat, Jake. You know, you gotta throw the FF in there.
FFM, formerly fat man. I get it.
That's right.
But yeah, you were
also
sick. You were swole, baby. You were swole.
I was big.
Oh, look out!
Guess who's back? Jake is back. Guess who's back? Jake is back. Grab your banana, peel it down, and pretend it's a nutsack and lick it up because Jake is back. Yeah, stay sexy. Sexy. Stay sexy. You're sexy. You gotta stay sexy. 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 So sexy. Jake is back.
Good show, brother.
Pitbull
Any
blown.
chance we can get here on monetize this for a special appearance, brother? He building tree houses right now and creating bridges from tree house to tree house, brother.
Thank you, brother, for the $24. Pitbull blown in. You are my pitbull. I really
He was
appreciate
making me
that.
come back with a banana.
Yeah, look at that. But
That's
yeah,
right.
I don't think we'll see him. No, I don't think so. I think he hangs out with people who dox me and want me dead. So I don't think so.
Shit,
Oh my God, brother. Triple M with the $1 super chat, baby.
Hell yeah.
Dropping that after taxes and after Google, 52 cents, baby. Triple M.
Worth both quarters. What do you think of, talking about worth, the Hall of Fame class? Basically, it's been handpicked by Paul, Triple H Levesque. What we're seeing now, Paul Heyman, Bull Nakano, Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, Muhammad Ali, Thunderbolt Patterson, and then Leah Maivia.
I think it's good. I mean, I don't have really a problem with it. I think
it feels a little underwhelming. But
well, no, I mean, say it
Bull
again.
Nakano
Say it again.
is an okay choice. I figured there's other divas and women that could have been.
Why is Bull
picked
Nakano
over
on there?
her.
Because she's the I'm trying to think. Is Wendy Richter in the Hall of Fame?
I was trying to remember that myself. The chat might be able to recall.
And
then adding Leah is just because of The Rock being there. He's going to introduce her at the. It's basically going to be the after SmackDown tapings that they're going to turn into the Hall of Fame, and that'll be April 5th. So,
I don't want to say underwhelming because I don't think I just don't I feel like there's a lot of huge names there. I mean, but.
I think people are upset because they were expecting Bray Wyatt to go in. So I think that's why there's a bit of backlash to the announcements.
What?
I think they're going to hold off and do it
too
next
soon.
year.
I thought maybe they would announce that because of his father going in, that it would be like a thing.
Yeah,
But-
well, now with his dad there, maybe next year, I think that might be the case. They'll go ahead.
You can't have only
We'll
so
see.
many dead people, though.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I guess that's why I don't have a problem with it. I could have seen it either way. That I would think it'd be interesting to put him in with his father, but maybe they didn't want to kind of cloud that his moment. Be thinking about his kid. He probably is going to mention his Bray Wyatt. But yeah, no, I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's fine, and there's some people that have a long time coming. There's some people that I never thought would be in the Hall of Fame, but okay. Muhammad Ali is legendary at WrestleMania 1, kind of. Although he's really just outside, and they had to hold him back from ruining the whole thing. But,
Yeah.
It was a big staple in what happened. And isn't Cyndi Lauper's in there already? So they like to put people in from WrestleMania 1. I think Triple H, has a real big special feeling for WrestleMania 1 because, what he saw watching it growing up and, that sort of thing. So I get it. I'm fine with it. I'm not going to crap on it. It is what it is. I think we're getting to a point where a lot of people have been put in the Hall of Fame. So there's not, you got to dial it back a little bit. I mean, what was the one year? I mean, it was nuts. It was Jake the Snake, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon.
they had it really jam packed.
That was the one I think when I was down in Florida. Actually, I think
you might be right.
that was one of the that was a stacked ass Hall of Fame, and Scott Hall with with the great quote and everything else that went on. So I don't know, man. It's not the greatest thing, but it's fine. They could use one other name probably. Somebody else who is, breathing that could. Is Cornette in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Oh, man. Was that a couple years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I forget.
I think it was like 2017.
All right. Yeah, that's right. He was in there. I forgot.
I forgot, too.
Who else could they put in? Who would you, besides Bray Wyatt, who is somebody else that you would think that they could...
On the spot is terrible for me. I had even thought of a few before. I'm sure it'll come back to me, but I'm surprised they didn't go more with the ECW feel with Paul Heyman headlining and being in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they're in Philly. Paul's headlining. That's big. So that's fine. I'm fine with it. It's all right. I mean, I'm not fine, but I'm just not going to get mad. I'm not really going to care. I don't care this year. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't really care that much this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I'm at. I'm like, whatever. Do whatever. Fine. I'll probably check it out vaguely. I'm not watching. I remember back when NXT was rolling, we were like all into watching the Hall of Fame. It was like, go watch the Hall of Fame. I think COVID messed it up a little bit.
It seems like it.
What was the year that Bret Hart was attacked by a fan? Was that the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, that was at the Hall of Fame.
What a crazy thing that was. That was just fucking like, what the fuck is going on?
The guy with the Rasta hat on, and then, what was it, FTR that beat the hell out of him?
Yeah. Listen, guys, in the chat, if you guys want to say something, you want to ask me and Jake a question, you want to say something crazy, whatever you got to do, man, now is the time to do it. Do it through Super Chat. Do it through the Dono link at the top. Streamlabs pinned to the top. Do whatever you want. Now's the time to say it because we only got a couple more minutes left because we're old men now, okay? We're probably tired. I'm sure Jake is more tired.
I got to leave the house at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We
can't do these.
Sucks.
That does suck, and I got to be up at the same time, so we're going to be dead. So you got, just a couple more minutes. Send us something. Let us know what you think. And
Joe, we'll kind of go rapid fire then here. Alexa Bliss confirms on Twitter, I'm not calling it X, and she's coming back
I get it.
At some point soon. They really didn't have anything lined up for her creative-wise, so now she will be making a return, so that'll be nice. And then SummerSlam for this summer has been announced. And it was announced on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast. And that's because they're going to be in Cleveland, Ohio.
Dumpster.
So they're returning to Cleveland on August 3rd.
Boston got screwed. Because we were supposed to get SummerSlam and then the COVID shit happened.
Oh,
and
we were going to go to that too. And then, unfortunately, Connecticut itself, too, gets nothing lately. As far as like music tours or... wrestling most times. It's just like, But yeah, they're going to be in Cleveland. And what do you think about the Prime bottle being on the mat for WrestleMania? I know some people are really upset and saying it's distracting, but I think they're just doing it to add heat to Logan Paul as well.
They are doing it for that reason, and I don't mind it because anything you can do to make some things stand out, it will add character to the show. I know that it looks different. It's not. We don't ever see that with WWE. But it just, to me, I think it adds character to the show, which is, I'll remember it. I'll always remember that's the one with the Prime bottles in the ring and whatever. So, and in my old age now, anything I can do to remember shit. So I'm down with it. Go for it. I'm glad it's not every week because that would be stupid. Then it would lose its luster. But if it's at WrestleMania only, I think that's funny. And I'm down with it. It's fine.
I agree. And another thing that I'm hoping for Mania is the report saying they're still trying to get a John Cena Hollywood, nudity himself. They want to go ahead and get him involved with Mania. If they can't do a match, at least have him do something. It's WrestleMania. It's number 40. You got to have Cena.
Maybe he'll come out and sacrifice a kid next in one of his humiliation rituals. Did you like...
I was listening to you last night, and then you played our clip as well with me, just talking up Cena's body. But you were right. How could he be humiliated? I don't see how that would be essentially the position that he's in.
He's been humiliating himself forever.
Exactly.
It's his thing.
He wrestles in jean shorts. I mean...
Yeah.
It wasn't that far off to have a small little, envelope in front of him, but it worked.
Shit bomb.
Certainly funny.
Jake, it finally looks like you went to the refrigerator and got yourself a bowl of fruit. You were a fat slob, fucking fat slob. He knew you were talking about him, bro.
Jesus Christ.
From Connecticut.
I think Broken Lion was trying to be nice to you, but it sounded terrible. Thank you, Broken Lion.
He's quoting a classic.
He is quoting a classic. I will say that. Thank you for quoting that classic Broken Lion. You are a beast without a doubt. And I am going to be, guys, remember, we're going to be shouting out the producers. My producer tier list is coming out. It's supposed to come out 5 days ago, and it didn't. But I promise you I will update the tier list today because some people just joined back up again.
Shit bum.
And I'll get it.
Fine, here's more than 50 cents.
Oh!
To play a better game, Diablo-style games are snooze. Play a Souls game like Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3.
Hey, man.
Love you guys.
I love you, Triple M, and I get what you're saying, but it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, man. But I will say something very funny to Jake, because Jake knows video games. So, Jake, in last Epoch, right? Or Epic, whatever you want.
Yes.
Most people say Epoch. But in last Epoch, right, there is a goddamn web of shit where you have to, like, beat these echoes, they call them, and you just beat them.
Yeah.
And as you beat them, it progresses. You in the bar progresses. So I'm beating these echoes, right? I'm beating them, and nothing is happening. Like, I'm noticing nothing's happening, and I'm like,
progression.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the progression? What's going on? And then in the top left of the corner, it says these quest things, and they seemingly are unlocking the more echoes I'm doing. And so on the top left, I'm like, I keep doing these. I've done 100 of them. This is bullshit. I literally seen a guy do 15 of them, and then it unlocks all 3 of those. And you can see my progression bar is at the top, and it's filled, but it's not green. And I'm like, and the yellow thing is stuck here, and I'm like, it should be here by now. Why isn't it filling up? What's going on? And 3 days of this, hours of playing, 90 echoes done. Most people can do this in 15 or 10 or something. And I'm like, why have I done 90? Am I going the wrong way? Which way do I go? What am I doing? You have to come over here and click click the yellow thing up here to go into a special one to beat it, and then it unlocks the next one and the next one. I wanted to kill myself this morning when I found this out.
Yeah,
fucking idiot I am.
I've done stupid stuff like that before, but when they don't explain it in games,
they don't.
I watched somebody get stuck in Destiny because they didn't know you had to fly to the tower, so they just kept running around in like a small little broken down area trying to figure out what to do next because they didn't see the notification that said, "Oh, you got to go to the next space." So that for hours they ran around the same space looking, and they're like, "Fuck it, I quit."
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, because the game does a piss poor job of telling you.
It doesn't tell you, and on top of it, all the guides and all the people talking about it, they're like, so you do these echoes, and then you try to go in a straight line, and then that your progression goes by much quicker that way, and then you fight the boss at the end of the echo, and I'm like, okay, but nobody says, oh, you've got to come over here to click the quest once you've filled up your progression bar, and then you beat that one, and then you can beat the next one as long as your progression is full. Nobody said that, and I guess it was just assumed, and I'm a small brain, and that's all there is to it. Like, this is why Leah can fix a car and fix things that I can't fix. But I did put a door together. I did cut a door on both sides and installed it, and it's amazing. Another thing that happens in the game real quick, when you pick up a unique item, it looks like the thing on the right here, that brown, it looks like that. Now, so when it drops, it looks like that, and I pick it up, and when I put it on my guy, it suddenly changes from a unique and changes to a legendary, and it adds a special legendary affix, and now becomes this pink thing. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought these were separate items. But no, it changed when I equipped it on myself. And so I'm like texting everyone, like, why does it change? What does this mean? What is going on? And I've seen nobody explaining this. What the fuck is going on? So, dude, I've been losing my mind the last couple of days. But
yeah, hey, it fucks with you.
It does, and it's a game. But let's get to the final donations, man. So we can get to the end of the wrestling news real quick. And we got them. We're caught up. Anything left on your agenda there, Jay?
Yeah, really quick. The last story I want to touch, and we'll go through it on the faster side. But WWE has been dealing with the Janelle Grant lawsuit and the fallout from that. In the lawsuit itself, they had named 4 different corporate officers, and now we have been able to determine and find out who those 4 are. The first one is indeed WWE President Nick Khan. In the lawsuit, he was described as a high-ranking employee and board member with WWE during miscreants. So he was only essentially, all 3 of these or 4 of these people were essentially only aware of the relationship, not any type of sexual exploitation or abuse. The second person was actually
Stephanie, right?
Chief Operating Officer Brad Bloom.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The third was CEO or co-CEO Stephanie McMahon.
Ugh.
And the fourth was actually from their legal department, and his name is Brian Nurse.
Now, we brought this up last night, and Jake, my thing is that, like, I really, like, what are the odds that this is, like, sabotage? Like, from Nick Khan or somebody just trying to get these people out of WWE so they can all take over. I mean, because...
Yeah. I mean, it is... I doubt it. I'd prefer it to be that way because then nobody got hurt and none of the bullshit continues.
Oh, God.
But I'm still disgusted. I mean, you read the stuff in there and I don't know. You know, they say that Brian Nurse, the head of the legal department, she spoke to, and she said initially after she spoke to him, he was no longer warm like he was with other colleagues, but he became cold, and he shifted from cold to actively hostile. So they don't know if Vince was telling them to, you know, treat her such a way, but none of it looks great.
Yeah, I can't wait for this to all be settled. I'm sure we'll I mean, bro, the movie on this, all this, could be insane at some point someday.
And like you said, there's so many unknowns in this scenario that they really need to either A, come out and say, hey, this is what happened, you know, this, or, you know, retract it entirely, because there's just too many unknowns, too many what ifs. And with all of it, you know, if people really did know, then you have to change the culture entirely.
Yeah, no, the whole thing's going to be overhauled. I think there's going to be a lot of change, like you said, and I just hope that some people who are good don't suffer because of it. Like, it really would be a shitty thing. Like, you don't want to lose these people. Like, Road Dogg knows a lot about a lot of things in the company and how to do things, and to lose some of those people that have been able to learn and do it, you know, it's like, that would be crazy. But Bruce Pritchard's still there. Road Dogg's still there. Doc Hendricks, or I don't know why I called him by his other name, but, you know, he's still there. There's so many people that are still there, and they've all known the operations for a long time. By the way, article of Mercedes Moné talking about bullying on Twitter or something. It's like they're crying, they're being bullied by social media. It's just like, what is this generation? I don't know. But you're never going to be a big enough star if this is what we're talking about. I'll say that. The Rock don't do it.
Girls get it done.
And The Rock fucking, his family gets bullied and terrified and whatever. And nobody, he doesn't say shit. That being said, is there anything else you wanted to say, Jake, tonight?
That was the last bit of my news for now, but like you said, we mentioned earlier, we'll have some more stuff on Patreon, and we'll also have our own little Remembering WrestleMania type show coming up, as well as WrestleMania predictions, and then the WrestleMania 40 review, both nights. Going to be an excellent time. I am so excited. Can't wait. And of course, the week before WrestleMania, monetize this, 450. Myself, many other people that don't matter, we'll leave it like that, are competing for Luke's Monetize This championship, and I'm making a little more room to become the first JCS Triple Crown champion.
That's going to be big, man. And don't forget, next week, Monetize This 448 will be live this Saturday night. Come in for that. The St. Patrick's Day theme, courtesy of the Dirty Novaks. He's great. He's got all these other thumbnails, of course. He's killing it. Like Jake said, Monetize This 450 is coming, and Jake is coming for Luke's belt. I'm coming for Luke's belt and his mom, and so many other things. And Always Nerdy has the briefcase, the points in the bank. Jay Menace, he's probably going to be the first person he takes out. Always Nerdy.
I forgot who won on Saturday. Was it I or was it somebody else? I don't remember.
You won.
I won. So I got the 200 points. Yeah, we got that too. You know.
Yeah, hey, you had to go to Betty by, but I knew you had it locked up. That's why I was like, yeah, you're not gonna miss it. You're gonna win. No one's gonna. And shout out to Shell, man. Shell became a $35 patron on Patreon.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe you did that, Shell. What the hell's going on? Like, I thought, I mean, I want you to, I don't know. That was very nice of you. I can't believe that. I thought, that's a lot of money for you. I thought you got to keep that shit. I don't know. Shell, blown away. I did not expect to see Shell sign up 35 on Patreon. That's crazy. So thank you to Shell. And I'm just like, it wasn't that long ago that I was running around trying to find her. And I was telling Leah that I was really worried. And then I think it was a couple weeks later I started talking to Jake, and then because Jake came back, she popped up. He talked to some other people knew her, were able to find her, and I couldn't. And I was just worried about it. I just wanted a text to be like, oh yeah, this is what's going on. So she's gone through a lot of tough times. We've said it before, but now she's on Patreon again. So I'm pretty blown away by that. So thank you, Shell, very much. Me and Jake.
Absolutely. Send the love.
We love you. We'll send you our love. And that's it, man. We'll kiss everybody. Hit that like button on the way out. Feel free to leave some comments and certainly sign up on Patreon if you guys want. And we will catch you Saturday night at least. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow, but Saturday night for sure. Monetize this. If not, a couple of videos in between then. And that's it. Jake, anything you want to say?
That's it. Thank you all so much. And we'll go ahead and keep making the content. It's going to be a good time. Everybody will enjoy it. That's right.
More coming. We go to Betty. Oh, my God, brother. See you guys soon. If you didn't hear our podcast on Patreon, go listen to that. Oh, my God, brother.
You illegal.
Oh my God, brother.